Hello everybody. Do you notice I don't have to press that camera button again because my friend Joe is my cameraman today. We are going to walk through my whole toy house. It might be long, so it's up to you that you want to keep going with us, or you can pause in the middle of the video and watch it later too. Now, we are in my balcony room because this is the highest level of my toy house. I have moved into this toy house about 2 months ago. Everything's in work in progress. But that's not in work in progress anymore. That's a prototype of one of the integrated amp I built about 15 years ago. And this cover is the cover for the deck that I've been working on. And Joe, you turn around and that's the deck. And this is the working system. Everything is working. But I keep cover off so I can actually tweak it and play with it whenever I need to. And I eat a lot of breakfast in this room. So I get inspiration at the morning, spend an hour having breakfast and before I go to work. And this is the balcony room, that's what I call them. And Joe just showed you the one system, the active, and the other side, on the other side of the room is another system. They have a Kenwood JL670 vintage speakers and a Carver power amp at the bottom there. I was talking to somebody about Carver, Bob Carver, the other day, and I actually have one of his well-known power amp. So when you're ready, Joe, you can come with me. I'm still too cheap to buy a wireless mic, so that's why we have this long wire dangling. Either I'm pulling him or he's pulling me back. So he's carefully walking down now, and we walk into the largest room that I have in my toy house. I don't know what names I want to put into this room. I don't want to call anything that's too tacky. You know, there's people that call the big rooms that like really those names. So if you have any suggestions, you can tell me what I should call this room. It has one active system on this side. Consists of an NSF238 integrated amp. This was the grandfather of the C312 preamp adjustable tubes and solid state adjustable integrated preamp, but this was an integrated amp form. Great Plain Audio 604 speaker. I believe it's a 604G or H. I can't remember exactly when was that. And Joe, if you don't mind, just go back to that side. I want to show the audience this preamp. This is a BC1 preamp power supply. Now, since you get down all the way down, can you see the tube in there?
Yep.
I built that in 1991, and I took it to a local dealer, and he said, "It sounds really good, but we can't sell it because it looks too funky." Tube sticking out look too funky. Guess what? You see everything sticking out everywhere. The tube is sticking out everywhere. Company mod equipment, and they actually put the tube and drill a hole in the cover and stick it out, and now it's not too funky anymore. So I'm always ahead of my time. And we have all this speaker from this end of the room that I'm going to set up the 9th and the 10th system on this wall. Work in progress. Again, work in progress. Everything's in work in progress. I don't want to stop working. And this is my turntable side of things. And this, of course, that turntable is working. This one is working too, but no tone arm. So I have to add the tone arm on it. And that's the phono stage. That's the phono stage that I designed that phono stage about back in 2009, 2010. It can run on solar panel. It has 1980 farad on it. It will run without any power for 20 hours. I believe the longest time I ran for 20 hours. And it can charge my solar panel.
How long does it take to charge?
30 minutes to full charge, but from absolute zero to workable voltage is about 15 minutes. and 30 minutes to 45 minutes to full charge. And I have all these vintage equipment on the back wall, and I believe Joe, you have shown some of the vintage equipment from the balcony room too. I collect vintage equipment because I love the look of them. It's not really for sound. And there's the pros and cons for vintage equipment too. That's another topic of another video. That will be a long discussion. Pros and cons of vintage compared to modern. That's another prototype. That's a DAR prototype. It's working. I can use it if I have enough space for setting up another system. So walking out through this room, on your right is my cross-sets. Well, 90% of the cross-set, I also have other crows somewhere else, but these are the most colorful cross-sets.
All shoes too?
Yep. And in order to have a toy house like that, you have to be either a bachelor or bachelorette. And I'm sort of kind of both. And when you run out the room for the shoe rack, you put shoes on top of the speaker. And that wall is part of the cross-set. I just want to show you this. If you show our casual shoes, that's okay too. Nobody cares. I believe this is 1940s, 50s RCA turntable. If anybody can tell me how old this actually is, feel free to put it in the comment section, because I do want to know a little bit of history about that. I'm trying to make it working again, but I have a stack of 78s. I can play with them. And this is another room, and this is another room. We call it hallway system, and actually, Joe, if you back up a little bit, you can actually quickly show it. This is another system. This is another system that I can play before I go out the door. And if you look at this side, this is another 1.5 system. The reason I say it's 1.5 system because it's actually 2 speakers, both are active and driven by 2 separate power amp and 2 separate preamp from one source. And Joe, you have heard this system, and the most fun part of listening to this system was when you have 2 pairs of speakers running mixture.
Absolutely.
And we
blended the sound really nicely.
Yep, and it's a lot of fun.
Oh yeah.
And that this room looks absolutely awful from a pure audiophile point of view, but we can talk about how good it sounds in the next one, in the next video. And I'm not going to tell people, you tell people. Whatever I say is biased.
And what are these amps here again?
The front is the NSL prototype. It's driving the Aerial 5 stand mount speaker. The back is an NSIG prototype and driving the eminent technology LFT8B. They're all prototype, either feasible prototype or production prototype, but they're prototype, and that's another. Again, the reason I kept it open because I can actually tinker with it whenever I feel like it, and I don't have a fixed hours of work, so I get whatever if I feel like it. Sometimes I get up in the morning, sometimes I get up in the middle of the night and think about an idea. I come up and tinker with it. That's why I call this toy house. That's my dirty laundry. You don't have to show it. If you want, you can show it. Friday sounds a little bit more dead because it's built up the laundry, and on a Saturday it sounds a little bit more live because I do my laundry on Saturday morning. That's a washroom. You don't have to show it anyway. So when you have too many speakers, you gotta stack it up and put something on it, use it as a shelving. That is actually a production version of a input stage of a 200 series power amp, and I took it out because the customer wanted to replace it with a solid state input stage, and that's the NST version of the 200 series power amp. And Joe, you can come in with us. In here, this is another system. This one only have one speaker running, but I usually have multiple speaker in the same room because I want to change speaker and sometimes change amp in the same room. But changing amp is easier. Changing speaker is more difficult. That's why I have the speaker in the same room.
We got vinyl and digital in here.
Yep, I get both vinyl and digital here. Both are active, both are running. And those LP collection is probably about 1/3 of what I have, and I also still have a lot of LP in another house that I moved out from. And if I don't have to move them, I won't move them.
I get a closer look of what this amp is.
So does that mean that I'm gonna walk with you because we are on a leash?
Yep.
This is the AG 2022. I built it in 2022. We took it to a Toronto Audio Fest, and we get a lot of reaction out of it because it doesn't look like an amp at all. And I was impressed that there were several people come in and say, "What is that piece of art doing here?" Of course, they didn't know it was an amp, but it's the first question they say that, "What is that piece of art doing here?" That impressed me. They see things a little bit different than most general public, but that was the seeing thing in a more positive way and have a more imagination.
And the Hello Kitty CD player.
Hello Kitty CD player, I bought it in Vegas in one of the Vegas CES show. That we were doing shopping at night, going out for dinner, and then I thought and we saw this Hello Kitty DVD player, so we bought it that night and used it for the rest of the show. We were having a Mark Levinson, is it 37 or 39 transport? I think it's a 37 transport. And for the first day, and we used this Hello Kitty's DVD player, and I'm not going to tell you the results, but nobody complained.
That's good.
So I'm going to walk out from here. This is another vintage radio. It works. Last time I actually managed to pick up a station with that. So this is my kitchen, and this kitchen system actually works too. All the vintage, the only two pieces that gears that actually work is this CD player and this Luxman LV105 integrated amp. That's actually a hybrid integrated amp. I believe that was the only hybrid integrated amp back in the 80s within the Japanese mid-fi market. And that two tubes actually in the circuit. Some people were trying to tell me that two tube was actually for decoration, but when I look at the schematic, they were actually in circuit. And it's not that difficult to change. More difficult than a typical audiophile. Just unplug it. If you want tube rolling, don't buy that because you do have to take off the front panel to replace the tube. But this stack of vintage equipment, all of them works. None of them actually work perfectly, except the Luxman. Well, actually the Luxman doesn't work perfectly either because a couple input actually have noise. But I said that they all works, but not perfectly. They play, but they make all kinds of noise, and I will show you in another system that why when you buy vintage equipment you have to be able or willing to look after that. They need a lot more TLC than the modern equipment. So we are going to go through the front way, really the front way, or to my bedroom system, but we're going to show you the back way to look at my bedroom system. So Joe, turn around, and we're going to go through the front way where I usually go when I want to sleep. And you can go in there and just kind of briefly show where my bedroom looks like. And the two dark shadow, they are the Alted Lansing Santana 2 speaker, and the middle stack is a stack of integrated amp and receiver. Again, so only one is actually working almost perfect condition. I have been using it for 2 months, and the rest of the stuff, the rest of the receiver and the integrated amps are noisy as heck. And the turntable works too. So, and we're gonna go around. I forget to turn on the light here. We're in the dark. But that's okay, because it's my bedroom. It's supposed to be dark. Now, before we go to the other way to look at my bedroom, I want to show you this. And Joe, this is my kitchen. Very simple, very clean. I don't even have a stove because we can cook food somewhere else. But what I want to show you is, look at all those drawers. You know what people put in their kitchen drawers? The typical things they put in the kitchen drawers. Mm-hmm. Utensils, dishes.
Yep. Or cables.
Audio related stuff. That's mentally healthy support. It's like supplement. I would rather buy a piece of audio equipment than eat if I want to spend money. Let me see. I need to go back there and turn on the light. Shall we show the audience my outhouse?
Outhouse. Wow.
See that toilet? That toilet is working. All I need to do is put some water in there. It can flush direct to the septic tank. That is like direct to this. I have direct to tank. This is another stack of speaker. Again, when you have too many speakers that you cannot use them all, you use that for shelving. They're wood, they're strong, they're almost resonance free. So we keep going this way. Everything's in work in process. So be careful, don't trip on anything, don't step on anything. There's no nail on the floor, as far as I know. So we are on the back end of my bedroom. So this is where I sit before I go to bed. I can hear my stomach growling for hungriness. We don't have to eat. Audio is more important. Did you hear the noise?
What noise?
Oh, actually, when it warm up, it's actually to have no noise. That integrated amp, that Onkyo A7 has been making noise and give me some hassle on the right channel, like like that. But it still keep playing music. So that's the issues of buying vintage. I might actually make a short video just to prove that I'm not a liar when it turn on and make noise again tonight. But it just so it was making noise a couple hours ago, but now it's quiet. So it's when we're not doing video that's making noise, and now we are on cameras and not making noise, it's like that thing's making me look like a liar. What? No comments from you?
No, I remember hearing it, but yeah, it's gone now.
Maybe I should keep it on 24/7 just to keep it quiet. But anyway, so this is my bedroom system, and I mostly use it for watching YouTube, but occasionally I listen to music. And also this is my reference of how Facebook online stuff sounds like, and it's been working well because I don't want to use the actual audio file sounding system to judge YouTube stuff, because most people don't use those things to watch YouTube music video and make decision. So this is more a real life situation, practical stuff. I think that's said. I don't want to show you my washroom. No. So we can cut it off now.
Sure.
Bye.